Titus Glenn. You can stream that wherever you stream your music. Okay, so I thought about this before I started talking about this because I really was on that thought of I used to write be a gospel artist. Like I used to want to aspire to be a gospel artist, and part of me still does. Just because gospel, I understand the gospel music is inspirational, right? Which is primarily what it is, like uplifting the spirit, right? But now that I understand that the theology is not really in alignment where I am, where I guess maybe the theology that I was brought up with, is kind of very like, I just say spiritually fluid. I don't know how else to call me right now. But with that, I had this awareness just talking about this, how things can change or things can shift, and really being okay with people evolving. Really, the idea is that as you grow, things change and the use of things could change. You know, like prime examples, there's some people that were married that are no longer married anymore, but it's not that they're not in relationship, it's just their relationship now has changed. And some people cannot get out of relationship all the way because they have kids, so they still have to redefine their relationship. There's That's, to me, is not different than having our gospel music and redefining what these things mean, right? Something that also came to mind is the scripture, when it, because I think about how we are all on a different conscious level, right? One thing that Yala told us in class one time was like, all the seats in here are in the room, but not every chair is equal. It wasn't minimizing anybody or diminishing anybody, but there's an understanding that we are all in these seats of life, but the level or our growth and where we are is different. Some people understand at a surface level, but some people understand at a deep level. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And so for me, I thought about that and about the scripture, going from glory to glory, right? Going from faith to faith. These to me are scriptures that are making us aware that we evolve, that we grow, that our faith expands, right? And so that's why we can be okay with reposturing these songs, because we are evolving. Okay, am I making sense, fam? Put a mic in the chat or something to let me know that this is making sense to you. Okay, let me know that this is this is okay. Thank you for the like, fam. Thank you for getting us to our goal today. So here we are. The song says, "I'll go ahead and give you praise in advance." Thank you, Love Healing Elegies. Okay, I'll go ahead and give you praise in advance. I don't care what's going on. I'll praise through my circumstance. I'll go ahead and give you praise in advance. Now, the traditional, thing that we always go back and reconsider, like the original state of this song, I was speaking to something outside of myself, right? Calling on the name of God outside of myself, reaching for something outside of myself. And now we have this understanding that this energy, this frequency is on the inside of us, right? And I don't feel like this is maybe a long talk today, because I feel like for me it's a simple, like, just rewording of words, or a simple shift in perspective, right? And which really aligns with what we've been talking about or Friday about manifesting. I'll go ahead and give you praise in advance, right? So I will right now in this moment give you praise, the higher self, or shift my frequency into this place of being thankful right, of getting in gratitude, because that praise is that affirmation. I'll go ahead and give you praise, right? And it could even be this idea now for me. I'll go ahead and give you praise. I'll go ahead and encourage you now, Titus, right? Maybe this is why David said, like, you have to encourage yourself. I've had to learn how to encourage myself. So in the conversation of this song, it's like I'll go ahead and give you praise in advance. So let's run that back. So this first line alludes to us stopping now and not waiting till tomorrow, right? But us taking moments in where we are in our journey to affirm who we are, to affirm and encourage ourselves. I'll go ahead and give you praise in advance. The other part of that, I'll do it now, right? But it's for something that's to come. Woo, come on. So I'll affirm now, but I'm affirming to make sure my vibration is right for what's to come, right? Because in advance is before something even happens. Hey, Philly. Am I preaching? So here we are, family. This song, I'll go ahead and give you praise. I'll go ahead and affirm now, right? You, this individual, this soul, this being, or if you want to tap into the God in you, that frequency, shifting yourself into that frequency in advance, preparing yourself for what's to come. For what's to come. I'm not going to wait on the phone call to make me feel good. I'm going to get into that energy. I'm going to posture myself now and get into that energy of expectation of good things coming in. Right? I'll go ahead and give you praise in advance. Then it goes and says, the next thing was, I don't care what's going on. Listen, I don't care what this is looking like. I don't care what life is throwing at me. Right? I don't care whatever the doctor is saying. I don't care what the lawyer is saying. Now I really feel like I'm getting preachery. None of that matters, right? I don't care what you say. I don't care what if it's not hitting my spirit right, and I have been charging my frequency to be an expectation, then regardless of how it looks like, I remain in my posture knowing that it's all working for me. Come on, reflecting on what was expecting what is to come, because I know that I know what I was. I can praise in the face. Absolutely, absolutely. So the idea, family, in this song now to me is like posture myself, get myself in that energy, clear myself of all the clutter, all the negativity, anything that would be a hindrance, right? And make me want to lean into negativity, I'm shutting it down. And I don't care what's going on. I don't care if it's my family members. I don't care if it's my spouse. I don't care if it's my job. I don't care if it's my coworkers. I don't care if something happened that I was unexpected. I'm stopping all that, right? Because that's the stuff that's, I don't care what's going on. I'm going to praise through my circumstance. Full transparency, okay? Can I be fully transparent? Can I be fully transparent? Like I'm gonna be fully transparent if it's okay. Okay, put a smiley in the face. Put a smile emoji in the put a smiley emoji if you're okay with with me being transparent. Hey Jasmine, we're currently not doing readings, but I will ask you a question if it's okay. Ask Jorge. Have you asked Jorge if he's a U.S. citizen? And if you did, where's the doubt coming from? Okay, man. So yesterday, I went outside and my mama's with me in town. She's like, "Your car is gone." I was like, "Huh?" She said, your car not out here. I said, what? And I was like, God, not today. Because I'm in this space of trying to pay out some other stuff. And so I was saving some money, right? And I was like, got to be more careful. It dawned on me that I forgot to register my car because my apartment complex changed their towing registration. And I totally forgot. So here I am, understanding now that I'm gonna have to pay for a tow that I wasn't expecting to pay for. My God, today. And I began to posture myself not to be angry, not to be frustrated, because this particular notice from my apartment complex didn't have a date on it. It just said effective immediately. So I was just like, okay, let me get to it later. Because last time they, no excuses on my behalf, but last time they did something like this, they put a time frame. And so in my head, I was thinking time frame. But no, there was no time frame, right? And so called the towing company. They told me the amount. I said, okay. But something really interesting happened. I said, you know what? I'm not going to get frustrated. I went into meditation and I just began to breathe, right? Because this is an unexpected expense. And I'm like, who wants to pay? Who wants to pay? Well, I'm going to tell you what it was. Who wants to pay $321 for a tow on an apartment complex that you've been living for 3 years, right? 3 years. So here I am, like, okay, God, what we doing? Cause and I kid you not, I was like, okay, God. And so I said, okay, let me use my tools. I went into meditation. Long story short, before I went to bed, I had got like 2 calls of some potential things that are coming up. And I said, okay, God. Okay, you gonna work this out. Because, and that's that thing of praising God in advance. Like, no matter what's going on, are you able to keep your energy neutral? Because that be the test. That be the shift when, regardless of things coming up, do you have the ability to manage your energy in a way that no matter what's going on, you affirm what's the truth? Right? So here we are in this space of talking about really coming back to this song. I don't care what's going on. I'm going to praise through. I'm going to affirm. Come on. I had to affirm my way through that experience yesterday. Because if not, if the old Titus would have just got back into bed and kept on sleeping. But thank God for growth. Listen. And so here we are. My condolences to you. Here we are in this space where this song is really a reminder of when life is hitting you. Do you have the tools to keep your affirmations lit and solid and buckled down in a way that it helps ground you and you're not moved by your emotions? Because a lot of times in our lower vibrational state, we are moved by the things that we see physically, right? So we're allowing what's happening around us and naturally to dictate what goes on inwardly. Right? And this song is a call for us to be aware that regardless of what's going on, we can still affirm the truth that all is well, everything is working out for our highest, greatest good, and this too shall pass. You hear me, family? And then we get into the next part of the song. I lift my hands and I lift my voice. This lifting of hands is really like we talked in the other song. It could be a lifting of the ego. Okay, I'm going to surrender this. Because to worry would do no good. Come on, somebody. So I lift my hands is a sign of lifting ego, surrendering what you think should happen, giving up control about the situation, right? lift your voice, right? They would say, lift your voice, give praise to God, affirm out loud what's true for you, affirm out loud what you want to see, affirm out loud, right? Speak and declare out of your voice, because there's death and life in the power of your tongue, right? My mom was with me. She said, we just speaking that this is coming back. This is coming back 100-fold. Come on. And that's how it works, family. That's how this works. This gospel music is still user friendly if you allow it. All is still well, regardless of what it look like. That affirmation hit us this morning. And when I say listen, when I say I had to make it personal, because I had to make it personal. I'm gonna have to go back and post it. I did record it. But it's just one of those things, family. When you're praising God, source creator, in advance, what we are doing is positioning ourselves as if it's already done. Bearing down so that if anything happens, we are affirming the end outcome is victorious. Hey, freckled brains. So when they saying praise God in advance, what they are essentially asking us to do is buckle down on what you believe. Come on, buckle down on what you believe and keep on pressing on. I felt a little churchy there. Yeah. Come on. That's what praising God was. Praising God in advance was. I'm going to buckle down on the truth that all things are working out for my highest, greatest good. I'm going to buckle down in the inner knowing that this too shall pass. I'm going to buckle down on the inner knowing that whatever is going on is coming to teach me something. Something new is coming in. Something is being released. But whatever it is all good and all is well. And this, fam, is praising God, source creator, in advance. It's about learn how to maintain your frequency at a high level, regardless of what's going on. Okay, fam? I told you I feel like it was going to be short and sweet. Come on. Enter into the gates with thanksgiving, into the courts with praise. Come on, be thankful unto him and bless his name, for the Lord is good. Come on. And his truth endures to all generations. Come on. I'm thinking that we are no longer begging, but anchoring in the truth that I absolutely, sunflower. That's what it is. Listen. And this is what we do when we're quantum leaping. We are taking, we're releasing the old us, and we're being in full gratitude for the who we are shifting to. And as we quantum leap, we have to let go of how we think things should be, because that is us letting go of control, so that we can actually sit and wait on how God's source creator is going to bring us the very thing that we asked for. Come on. This is so edible. Come on, somebody. Yee. Listen, I kind of want to go metaphysically to Paul and Silas. Paul and Silas praising God at midnight. Come on, midnight being the darkest moments of our life. Come on, it's no different. That, like, this type of discussion is just giving us information to shift our consciousness. Come on, they will talk about Paul and Silas. But y'all know that story. They were in the jail. Come on, they were shackled. They were shackled down. You hear me? I'm just looking up what does Paul and Silas mean metaphysically, because I feel like it might be something there for us to explore. Hey. No, you good, fam. You good. Back in the day, they would tell us Paul and Silas was in the jail cell praising God, and then an angel. But listen, this is why I love studying metaphysically, because there are teachings that say that an angel is really that energetic thought that is going to shift your life. So the idea that Paul and Silas was praying and then an angel came and opened the door, it was a thought that shifted. Listen, this type of stuff will preach you out of your situation. Because you'll wait on the circumstance to change, but the thing that's going to change your circumstance is a thought. Okay. Listen, now that's good. Ooh, that's good. Let's look at Paul and Silas. Come on, it was a thought that unlocked the door. Come on, Paul and Silas, the idea that Paul and Silas are in the jail cell, jail representing being in bondage, being in solitude, can't get out, can't escape. They praise, they begin to affirm, they begin to speak life, right? They begin to speak truth, they begin to empower themselves, and then what? An angel appeared, a thought appeared, whoo, and the gates were open. Ain't this something? Come on. I just love this stuff. It's so yummy. So next time you get into a pickle, oh come on, let's listen. I wonder what we and I'm sending love and light to you, freckle brains. Come on. And you don't and here's the thing. I'm sending love and light to you. And I'm also holding space that your mind don't take you into those places that you feel like you can't get out of. Come on, somebody. Woo. My condolences, freckle brains. Send me. I'm gonna do what I can to just at least buy your dinner or something today. Okay. So send me like a cash app or just something, and I will send you what I can. So my condolences to you, right? And that's even there's even a type of grief that comes in that space, right? The type of grief that comes to this space. But I want to encourage you because we are powerful beings. Because we are powerful beings, right? That one thought can lift us up. And in that lifting, we draw unto us the experiences that we need in order to get out of any and every situation. Right? Freckle brains, send it, inbox me so I don't lose it. Okay? Just in case it comes up. Okay? Inbox me. Let's get into it. I'm gonna go into Paul and Silas and see what this means, okay? Okay, so this is interesting. So Silas, metaphysically, friendly, we're looking at truthunity.net, right? Silas means abounding in trees, abundant growth, forest-like, woody. A chief man among the believers in Jerusalem who accompanied Paul on some of his missionary journeys. Another interpretation is the rugged state of mind, woody, that goes well with the Paul consciousness. Sounds like alignment, right? Another idea of the concept of your energy becoming in alignment. Come on. It's just a thought. All you need is 51% to be on the side of things working in your favor. Woo! Come on. Let's go and look at Paul. So we got the rugged state of mind that goes well with the Paul consciousness. This is from truthunity.net. It's a metaphysical Bible dictionary that's online. Paul refers to restrain, constrain, reduced, lessened, made small. Different symbolism and shades of meaning are given to Paul and his life and ministry, all bearing to the important work of overcoming the individual. So it speaks to, it's feel like it's speaking to the work that comes with overcoming life, right? And then if we're tying in praise, right? For me, it speaks to the idea that for you to overcome, it takes you speaking life. Woo! Let's go to a Brea too to see if there's any other information about what Paul and Silas could mean. Let me see. Mm. Make sure I'm typing on the website. Is that making sense to y'all, fam? Mm. Let me see. I guess Abrir Publications. And when we are looking at these interpretations, family, we're not looking at it from the literal sense because these words have meaning. And we have to understand that the Bible has been translated so many times and it's not meant to be a literal book, right? With every, let me see, Abaram, okay, Abaram Publications. Let's get it. Abaram Publications. Let's see what let's see what Paul means. And I'm going right now, I'm going to Abarim Publications, Abarim. And we're going to go to Paul. Let me come down here. To me, this is how you continue to evolve and advance. Here we go, Paul. Meaning small, stopper. And I think somebody just said that. Like the fact that Paul means small, it does connect to the faith the size of a mustard seed. Like the way that Truth and Unity and Abraham is talking about the meaning of Paul being small. Like it doesn't take much to shift. But I think a lot of times we put our energy on the big thing. Listen, versus honing in not on the loud voice but on that still small voice. This is so yummy. So meaning small, sensation, stopper, tent cap, a small whisper that listen. It says this in Abraham, a small whisper that propagates into a roaring multitude. OMG. So even, I didn't even read that. That thought just came to me before I read that. And this even says that Paul means a small whisper that propagates into a roaring multitude. So just imagine that this jail is your mind, right? But how, and they start to praise in a still small, listen, I'm finna get off this pillow and this chair. Come on, because if we go to, let's pull it up. Listen, your praise ain't gotta be loud. It's just gotta be effective. Woo! Your affirmation ain't gotta be loud. It's just gotta be effective. Yo, I didn't listen. Listen, that's a shot, ain't it though? Ain't it though? Let's get it, fam. Let me go to the scripture, because that is powerful. That is powerful. Because they thought that in church we was like let's get up and go, let's go praise, like it has to be around bunches, right? But this praise is attached to a small voice, and if you need the website is Abarim. Let me see if I can put it in the chat. Abarim Publications. Listen. But I believe now that really praise just speaks to your affirmation, to the energy, that gratitude, and I feel like worship speaks to you more now in this space of consciousness, with your ability to get into alignment with what you see, because you being in alignment with what you see speaks to you now knowing that you're worthy of the thing that you see. Woo. OMG. So I worship God now by being my most authentic self, because when am my most authentic self, I am in alignment with the call of God for my life. Listen, I'm just saying, this is yummy. This is yummy. Where were we? Ooh, come on. And at midnight, Paul and Silas prayed and sang praises unto God, and the prisoners heard them. And suddenly, there was a great earthquake. Come on, this is, whew, come on. I finna jump. Listen, suddenly there was a great earthquake, but when you go back and look at what Paul, it says a small whisper that propagates into a roaring multitude. So what we're seeing here in this text is literally the amplification of this small voice. Oh my goodness. Yeesh. Yeesh. Come on. That's what we are legit seeing in the text. Let's see, propagates. Okay, spread and promote. Listen, transmit or to be transmuted in a particular direction or through a medium. Come on, breed specimens of, process from the parent stock. Listen, propagate. So the idea that this small voice, oh, what's up, video? That what was happening while they were shackled up is that this praise, this affirmation, whatever was said, shifted. Listen, I love it. Now that was Paul. That was Paul, right? It says suddenly there was a great earthquake, so that the foundation of the prisons were shaken. Come on, immediately all the doors were open, and everyone's hands were loosed, right? So I take it back. I thought this was where the there was an angel. Maybe I heard some preacher said there was an angel, right? So disregard the angel, right? But the angel is a thought, right? So just the thought that you can have a thought and it shift, right? Is everything. So a man thinketh, so is he. But there's no angel in this story, okay? And the keeper of the prison awakened out of his sleep, and seeing the prison's door open, he drew out his sword and would have killed himself, supposing that the prisoners had been fled. But Paul cried out with a loud voice, saying, "Do thyself no harm, for we are all here." Then he called for a light and sprang in and came trembling and fell down before Paul and Silas, and brought them out and said, "Sirs, what must I do to be saved?" And this is a different. We can dive into that later. Oh, my pleasure. Is there? I thought there was a. Oh yeah, there's no angel in here, right? But it's the thought now. When you go back and look at these words, when you like to look at it metaphysically, you get out of the message what's for you, right? However, there's a connection to be able to expand upon your own consciousness and your own evolution and your own growth, right? But I like what we saw there is the connect that Paul represents small in Abraham. It talks about Paul is a small whisper that propagates into a roaring multitude. But then we also see in scripture that when they begin to praise Paul, this small voice, right? It suddenly there was a great earthquake, aligning with the idea and and definition that Paul is a still small voice. Come on, ain't this is so edible? This is so edible. Listen. Okay, so let's go to Saul. Let's see if we can look at Saul. Listen, this is yummy. So if we were to pause right here, family, this is why it's important to get still. Regardless of what's going on. Can I posture myself to get still so I can hear that still small voice? And in hearing that still small voice, that still small voice can magnify itself, right, with an energy that now I know that I heard what I heard, and now I can move and get into alignment with what I heard. But if we are continuously moving, right, and we're allowing our ego to be on the rampage, then we remain locked with how we think things should be working out. Yes, stillness is where the power is. Listen. And we do this, and we're connecting this to in advance. We do this in advance, right? We praise through in advance. Come on, somebody. We affirm the truth in advance. Okay, that was Paul. Let's go to Silas. Listen. This is, oh my goodness. Let's go to Silas. Whew. Silas, of the woods, of the fuel of the fire, or the subject matter of the story, asked for. Oh my, asked for, meaning of highway maker. The name Silas and Silvanus apply to a single New Testament character, and although Silas is obviously short for Silvanus, you know what this sounds like? This is interesting. You know, and I just want to pause it because I think this is interesting because I feel like this is legit connecting to. It says silver, but it's put me in this thought of saliva, like what's in your mouth when you're speaking. And that's just a side note, but that was just interesting to me. The name Silas and Silvanus apply to a single New Testament character, and although Silas is obviously short for Silvanus, the way Dick is short for Richard and Bill is for William, the name Silas has a distinct Semitic ring to it, whereas Silvanus leans more toward Latin sounds of things. We'll get into details. So, okay, let me just see. I'm just reading through this. It's a lot. Silas has a lot of digging in. Listen. Here we go. So Silas and thus Saul and possibly the name Silas come from the verb shall, meaning to ask, inquire, borrow, beg. Right? So we have this conversation looking at this. If you were to look at Paul is this still small voice, but Silas means to ask, right? So it's also an idea that they were praising, affirming, and asking in a still small voice, right? And that is what opened up the gates. This is the gates of our minds, the gates of our hearts. Just that still small voice, speaking, requesting, right? It also says the woods or the fuel of the fire. Woo! So I wonder here is we have a still small voice, but maybe this is also attached to making our requests be made known unto the Lord, unto the God of our understanding. Because there's some things that people can speak, but they never ask for what they want. That's what this is taking me to. Because so a man thinketh, so is he. Ask and it shall be given unto you. But when you ask for what people want, when you ask people what they want, they always say what they don't want. Man, this is so good right here. Most of the time when you ask people what they want, they lean into what they don't want or what they don't like. But this is a conversation that's legit taking me into when you are engulfed in your mind with worry, concern, and the doors are locked and you're confused, getting still and begin to ask and request for the very thing that you want. Okay. This sounds like a conversational piece. And then we have this still small voice being magnified or propagated. What was the word? I have to list. I should have 2 windows here. Come on. Come on, Paul. A small whisper that propagates into a roaring multitude. This is like, I'm just saying. Am I making sense, family? This is so edible. So edible. So what this is, so many nuggets in here if you really sat with it. Come on, energy flows where attention goes, absolutely. So if you have this idea now that at midnight, the darkest moment of the day, right? Paul and Silas prayed. This to me is just lining up with Paul being this still small voice. Silas being this energy of asking and saying praises unto God, and the prisoners heard them. Woo. Let me see if there's something on. I want to define prisoners. Prisoners. Come on, somebody. I'm just. This is how you just get into the meat of it, because this is interesting. Because I feel like this is something that's happened inwardly. Right? If we're talking about the kingdom of God is within, we're talking about things are happening within. Who is the prisoner? Ooh. Who is the prisoner? This is something that I'm just saying, this is how my mind thinks. This is where I go when I'm thinking about breaking this stuff down. Because this still small voice is speaking, asking, requesting, is magnifying, is growing. And the prisoners heard them. Woo! Oh my goodness. I like this. Okay, a person legally held in person as a punishment for crimes they had committed or while awaiting trial. A prisoner, a person captured and kept confined by an enemy, opponent, or criminal. I love this. I love this because I feel like this prisoner could be you. Listen, especially when it says confined by an enemy, the enemy. So you're holding yourself captive. Come on, this is so edible. You're holding yourself captive, and it takes you going into your mind to speak in that still small voice and ask what you want to free yourself. Listen, okay. This is just, whew. Prisoners also say a person who is or feel confined or trapped by a situation or a set of circumstances. I'm just saying. Jeesh. So this prisoner that we're breaking free is you. The prisoner that's there is you. Okay. Okay. Listen. I'm okay. I'm gonna leave it alone. But that's what I do when I'm taking this part, when I'm thinking about this word being a book of allegories. Like, what is this if it's talking about me and how I'm made up? And what I know to be true, hey, brother Cody, what I know to be true is that so a man thinketh, so is he. So what am I telling myself in that still small voice? Or that voice that's in my head that I need to get still so that I can actually hear and then begin to speak the truth so that I can free myself. Because the prisoner is me. Man. Because I'm holding myself captive by my own thinking. It is I who is holding myself captive. And it's going to take a change of thought. It's going to take you requesting in that still small voice to free yourself. All right. What are y'all thinking, family? Where we at? Did we go too far? This is yo. This is so edible. So edible. Ha, I'm excited. So there we have it, family. In this container of love. And praising God in advance was we're affirming, we're speaking truth. Right? We're learning today that Paul, I just learned that today. Paul means small voice that propagates. Come on. I gotta go back and listen. Yo. I think this is interesting. Where was it, fam? Okay. We gonna hop out. But this is so edible to me. Let me go back to people. But this stuff like this would take me down a rabbit hole, because now I'll be thinking, okay, Saul was turning to Paul. So what was happening? What was Saul? That's where my mind goes to really get a grasp the transformation. But when we go back to Paul, a small whisper that propagates into a roaring multitude. Sheesh. So good. Into a roaring multitude. That's so edible. And then Saul so amazing, y'all. So amazing. Right. Saul again means to be asked for. To ask or ask for. And I remember we just read that because that was tied to Silas being the same thing. Interesting. So this idea just that, ain't that interesting? Did y'all see that too? That Silas, whew, this is, I'm having a moment. Because it's giving me, if Silas means the same thing as Saul, is this possible that this is an indicator or metaphor that Paul is speaking to himself in this condition? Woo! Did y'all catch that? Because Saul and Silas legit mean the same thing. And the Bible talks about Saul going from Saul to Paul. Is it quite possible that Paul is talking to himself, and in this experience he becomes free? But that's just listen. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone because I just caught that. That's very, very interesting to me. So, family, what are y'all takeaways? I won't go down the rabbit hole. I won't go down the rabbit hole, but what are y'all takeaways from today? Listen, this is so good. Eee. But yes, this was so good. Thank y'all for letting me in this space. If something was a blessing to you, you can always send a donation. $ Titus Glenn. I appreciate you guys for being in this space, having this conversation. Um, yeah, so I'm going to really revisit the time here of when I can come live. Come on, yes, because it began to end with self. Absolutely. Listen, because it begins and ends with self. That is, listen, amazing. Amazing insight. But I'm trying to work on still doing this, but because again I'm taking practical and I'm trying to figure out work schedule. I'm looking at maybe doing this like twice a week, and I know or three. But I'm definitely having to finagle my schedule so that I can graduate. Glory be to God. Come on, I'm gonna get excited every time I think about it. But yes, graduation is a must. So I have to be more intentional about how I'm able to have the times I'm able to have these conversations, because I still want to be have these conversations, and I will keep you guys posted. I will keep you guys posted if I do decide to change the time. But y'all just be flexible with me this semester, because this semester is the start of practicum. I'm working through two programs currently. Two programs. One is through Intervisions with Iyanla Van Zant, and that is should be rounding up, coming to a completion in May. But I'm also starting my practicum for counseling, and that's a whole type of process. So something may have to give, and it might be because the sound bath is definitely something that I'm not going to do away with, because I feel like that's where, let Spirit say something else. But right now, 5:30, that's the sound bath. I feel like that's the staple. That's what's got us here to having this community. So now I just got to figure out how does everything work as I'm transitioning in this semester to be a licensed professional counselor and a ordained minister of spiritual consciousness. You hear me? Who's excited is me. Okay. So with all that being said, if you're looking to book me one-on-one and you're like, I've been waiting on Titus, I'm ready. Now's the time to do that, because the way my schedule is going, if you're ready to do the work now, it's good to go ahead and put your name on my calendar before I be like, I can't take on anything else. Okay. So I'm just putting that out there for those that have been looking to work with me. There's a 15-minute discovery call that is in my bio, and all you have to do is 15 minutes. We have a conversation. We see if we work. We may not even be a good fit. I don't know. But I am here to come alongside of you to support you on your journey to evolution. Come on. Graduation. Come on. Every time I see the word, I'm going to just say thank you in advance. In advance. Come on, in advance. It's happening. In advance. So that's where we are, family. Thank you for your energy today. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. And I think that's all I got today. Any questions, anything that's coming up that you want to address before I hop out? Cool? Well, cool. Well, I'm going to start doing the work to download this, and I think I have two that I need to put up on YouTube. One from Anita Wilson yesterday, and then the song we did yesterday. No, one we did Anita Wilson Friday, and then the song that we did yesterday was Hezekiah Walker. Yeah. Yes. So I love y'all, and we will talk to you guys later. Y'all take care. Oh, thank you so much. Come on, let's sing this out. Here we go. One more, okay? Just in case you haven't heard it in a while. Cool, I need to work on that today, okay? And just in case you really need to know. Just in case you haven't heard it in a while. Just in case you really need to know. Oh, I love you back, ayy. I love you, I love you, I love you back, ayy. I love you, I love you, I love you back, ayy. I love you, I love you, I love you back. All right, fam. Take care. We'll talk later.